Okay, we're live.
Awesome.
All right. Hey, everybody. Hey, all you corrupted gems out there. This is the real Manos, and welcome to another episode of Stevolution, where we talk about all things Steven. I am here with my co-host, as always, Deadpoolzilla.
Greetings, one and all.
How are you today, Deadpoolzilla?
I am very well today.
Okay, great. Me too. Just got off work. I'm a little tired. I'm all set to talk. So, all right, let me set this up here. Last episode, you and I talked about Change Your Mind arc, and we talked a little bit about season 5, and we talked a little bit about season 6. So I thought we'd kind of like explore that a little bit and maybe talk about it. I don't know. We'll see if we go half hour at the latest, and see where our heads are, because this is the thing I'm thinking about. We finish up the episode, and I remember, and I think you and I talked about this a little bit. We talked about how, like, wow, the show feels like it's over. Where else are they going to go? And the more you think about it after a couple days, and we talked about this a little bit, there's actually a number of things they can go that they could probably continue the series for, I don't know, maybe another like 3 to 5 seasons.
Yeah, well, Rebecca did say in a recent interview she has enough material to go up to 9 seasons.
Yeah, I've heard that too. And I mean, it's so weird to think that they could do double the season, double the the output here, long after all this stuff has been like settled, as far as like the corruption problem and the diamond problem. Although who knows where we go from there. I thought we'd kind of like talk a little bit about, and we don't have to do this in a too focused atmosphere. We can essentially talk about what we think they might do, what we think they should do, and so on and so forth. So, where do you feel you want to start off first? You want to start off on what we think they might do?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Based on what we've seen, and based on what I've heard a little bit, I've heard them talk about Jasper quite a bit. And Jasper's been out of the show for three of our years. I know it's been, I don't know if I can call it 2 seasons, because she kind of went out at the end of season 3. But so to them, it's not been that long. Well, I don't know. I actually don't know how much time has passed. It could be a year.
I would say, like, in show, I would say, like, a little over a year. That would be my estimate.
Yeah, so it's been a little shorter in their time. And I've heard Sugar talk about a focus on Jasper, and I know that's going to be... And also, they know that, we want to see Jasper, so I assume Jasper will be a big part of whatever the hell they're doing. So, what that will be... let's see. Here's the thing I keep thinking about. Because I keep thinking about... factions that are on Earth, the gem factions. And I definitely feel like we're probably going to get some tension to the point where I think there's going to be a danger of another civil war between the gems. And I think it's possible that we might see Jasper pulled in one of 2 directions. At least that's kind of what I'm thinking they might do.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that Jasper's kind of mentally fragile, you'd imagine, at this point.
Yes. Oh my god. She was not in a great state when she got corrupted, and then she wakes up realizing, oh crap, stuff has changed. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, the diamond I served loyally turned out to be my greatest enemy that I threatened to murder. And then I believed in have apparently just decided, oh, we're all cool now with Earth, that planet we were going to terraform. So yeah, it's kind of like...
Yeah, where do you stop? Where do you?
Um,
I don't know.
like,
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna say, like, Jack is like, I'm really hoping where they go with her is that she is the soldier without a war anymore kind of route.
That would be cool. Um, I would really like it if maybe, it'd be cool because we've been talking about, a lot of people have been talking about doing a time skip, and I think it would be pretty cool if maybe we do a time skip and Jasper took off almost immediately to kind of walk the earth. I mean, she didn't like hang out much longer outside of just kind of getting the bullet points of what happened and kind of making peace for the most part, and then just took off like to find herself or figure herself out. And maybe she will come back into the story just as things are getting dicey, and we kind of find out where her loyalties are.
Yeah, that'd be neat. And also, I want to see, like, where does this leave her and Lapis?
Oh man, I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
Because they were not great last time we saw them.
Yeah, so I think it would be Lapis, like, just kill her, And I'm not saying, like, oh, that's so out of character. Actually, for Lapis, that's not.
No, I could see that.
Yeah, because I think like a lot of the gems would see, like, Jasper. She's kind of like a wild animal at this point. She's too much of a danger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll see. God, there's just so much. We were given so little. We were given kind of enough to have her. I like that moment where she's waking up and she's kind of looking around and she realizes what's going on. And the one who comforts her, the one who talks to her, is Amethyst herself.
Yeah.
And I would actually be very curious to see their relationship forward. Because I feel... I don't know. I don't know if I'd see like a sisterly relationship or some sort of like kinship or something. I don't know. There was some kind of odd bonding that happened between the two of them, or at least on Amethyst's part at the end, where she felt sympathy for her.
Yeah, and it's still up in the air if Jasper will reciprocate that.
Yeah, that's true. Like it was probably all on Amethyst's part. Oh. So we'll see how Jasper feels about that. Because that's one of the things... That's one of the moments I really liked a lot with that episode where Jasper is taken down and popped, is that Amethyst, after all that time of like building a grudge and like trying to rebuild and psych herself to go take down Jasper, ended up feeling terrible for Jasper and feeling related to Jasper in that way, like she understood, and all in that a little bit of that animation, and that one line of calling her sis. It's just, I don't know, there's sometimes just little bits like that really do a lot for character.
Yeah.
So we definitely will see. I'm curious to see how she relates to Steven. Like, I know she's going to have some period where she's got to get used to the fact that, like, okay, Steven is not Pink Diamond, but he's also Pink Diamond. And I have to kind of wrap my brain around that.
Yeah. And is her loyalty to Steven now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, depends how much... Depends how much she thinks he's Steven. How much she thinks he's Pink Diamond. Like, will she feel betrayed by him in that regard, or he's kind of a worthy descendant that now she has to kind of like... I always figured that was going to be a method of bringing Jasper back into the fold. Or at least into the fold. She's never been into the fold. So I always felt that was going to be helpful. I still feel that way. I still feel that if anything's going to bring her around, it's her loyalty, I guess, or some kind of feeling towards Pink Diamond and how that's now belonging to Steven. So it's like, well, okay, he's got my ear. I will at least listen to him.
Yeah, like I think like it would be kind of cool that the only people who can talk to her are Steven and Amethyst.
Oh yeah.
Where everyone else is just kind of like, we should just leave her be. It'd be kind of like where it's kind of actually this whole situation, how we're talking about it, and again, it may not go this way in the show, is that how we're talking about is like that kind of that era in the X-Men in the 90s where Wolverine had disappeared after Magneto ripped the adamantium out of his body, and they replaced him with Sabretooth for a short time.
Yes. She is rather Sabretooth, like, isn't she?
Yeah. Like she even calls Amethyst Run.
Yeah, that's true. Runt. Rhymes with. Anyway. But so yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Jasper and her, I guess you could call it redemption arc. I assume that's where we're going with that. It'd be cool if they keep it up in the air for a while. I would love to see some stretch loyalties, like Jasper figuring out where she is.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind like a solo Jasper episode, like in the vein of like Zuko alone.
Yeah. Where she. Here's the thing, actually, do you think they'll break any storytelling techniques that they've been doing up until now? Because one of the things that has been a positive and even somewhat of a negative, depending on who you talk to, about the way they've told this story is they've only told it through Steven's point of view. Steven sees it, you see it. Steven hears the story, you hear the story. It's never been through another point of view in the show. And do you think now that we've passed this point in the series, do you think they might like break that? Do you think we might see like a full Jasper episode without Steven like involved?
I think it's possible. I think like now that all the rules are broken after that season 5 finale, it's I think all rules are out the window. I think anything is possible at this point.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I've been thinking about this. I'm not convinced they'll do that, but if they were to do it, this would be the time. Season 6 would be the time to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it would be an interesting way to tell the audience, like, okay, things are different. We're not showing you, because you know everything basically about this culture and the moms and the grandmoms, because that's been kind of like the metaphor in it, like, growing up, you don't know everything about your family, and then you slowly learn, and that's been really expertly done. And I gotta tell you, like, they have committed. I have been really impressed by their commitment to this method of storytelling. And it's been done so subtly. I mean, there have been times in the show where I kind of forget about that over the last couple of years. Like, oh yeah, that's right, he's always present. So I'm interested to see if they break that. I'm curious. It just kind of depends on how they decide to tell Jasper's story. The thing is, like, I want to get into a little bit about the gems on Earth. What do you think might happen to the gems on Earth? Do you think any gems went back with the diamonds, or do you think they all are on the planet and that's it?
I think a lot of them are on the planet, and they just kind of like, what the hell do we do now?
Yeah.
Because you'd have to imagine that a good number of them, after getting Steven or one of the crystal gems explaining, those quartz was really Pink Diamond, and the person you followed was the person you hated. A lot of them.
Yeah. I am curious. Yeah, I am curious if I've wondered this. Do you think they're going to tell them?
I think knowing Steven, he probably will. Like that might be one of the first episodes is like the Crystal Gems debating, like, should we tell them the whole truth of the war? Yeah. And Steven going, yeah, we should. If it hurts them or not, they have to know the truth, because I don't want them to be like me. For like 14 years, I was left in the dark by you guys, and it hurt, but at least I knew.
Yeah. I can't see Steven not telling them. I mean, I can see the diamonds covering it up.
So they won't have to deal with it?
Yeah. Or the gems. I can see them both like going, maybe it's for the best, they don't know. But yeah. I could definitely see Steven wanting to. I mean, I can't see Steven not telling them. And I think that would. I'm trying, because that could be a method of trying to make amends and build a bridge. I think that will, for the most part. And I think that also might also result in some gems feeling betrayed. I mean, what if they lose? Because if they do like a gem, if they do factions of gems, like what if it's like some homeworld gems and former crystal gems, like teaming up?
Yeah,
both feeling betrayed. Like feeling betrayed by the diamonds. Like, hey, we came here to fight your war, and you left us to turn into monsters or die?
For the 6,000 years?
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Yeah, you didn't do anything about that?
And what the hell's the cluster?
Yeah. Like, wait, those are some of our sisters who are dead? You made a monster? Yeah, I could see this this extra faction being quite angry, and that's definitely that would be a definite challenge for Steven, because he's kind of used to this specific issue in dealing with like the homeworld gems and the diamonds that he's encountered. This is a completely different type of problem.
You know what? It's actually kind of funny, because this is going to sound really weird, and I don't mean to go in this tangent, but like since we're on the subject of the gem factions and what have you,
yeah.
I'm doing a fan fiction series with a friend of mine that's like a shared universe of like different cartoons and anime and such, like Transformers and Gravity Falls and all that.
Love it.
And like one of the story arcs we're doing is kind of based around what happened with after post season 5 of Steven Universe, where all the superheroes are kind of like trying to keep the peace alongside the crystal gems with all these new gems that have shown up all around the world. And now they're like trying to keep the peace, but some of them are angry about and some of them are jaded by the war, and meanwhile mankind is kind of like, fuck these aliens.
And that's another issue we'll get into. No, that's not a tangent at all. It's definitely because look, humanity is just doing its thing. Like occasionally there's this weird thing going on in Beach City. The ocean disappeared for a few hours. I don't know what's going on. And now there's a whole race of weird warrior women, like just thousands of them, like kind of.
And some of them look like half monsters.
Yeah, some of them will look like half monsters. Oh, so yeah, I mean, I know Sugar and Company have wanted to kind of avoid that topic, and they're not really I don't think they've been interested in telling that story, which I don't blame them. It's their story they want to tell, and to be honest, it's probably maybe a little bit too obvious to jump into it. Maybe it's a little bit challenging to do it this way, but I don't know if they can avoid that anymore. It's like, look, humanity's got to react. This is a different version of Earth, but it's a version of Earth. It's definitely a modern Earth. So yeah, they would have to have some kind of like reaction to this, and I'm curious as to what that would be. Would they be accommodating? Would they be hostile?
It's the human race. You already know the answer.
It is. Well, I mean, if this was like the Marvel DC universe, comics, then we could pretty much guess where they would go. But I don't know. I mean, the Steven Universe Earth seems really much nicer. you know what I mean? Yeah, there are jerks, there's war, there's crime, but I don't know.
There's still New Jersey.
Yeah, there's still Jersey. I don't know. The whole planet seems a little more Canadian. To me. I don't know.
But to be fair, the farthest we've seen is
Canada has taken over the world.
Or became Emperor of the Earth.
Yes. But
that's actually like I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, that's a good setup. I like that. I will bow down to our Canadian overlords.
But yeah, that was the that's the thing is that you have to look at is that now the human race is kind of like they're out there, and a lot of them probably aren't going to stay in Beach City. Like a lot of them are probably going to want to go out into the world and find like all, and there may be even other gems out there who are still corrupted.
That's true. You know, it's possible they didn't get them all.
Yeah, like they said they found. You know, it's been we've only rounded up only so many, and there's like, well, how big was the rebellion?
The rebellion and the opposing army.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, look, if those gems are kind of SOL because, like, hey, the diamonds have gone back. I guess, I don't know. Hopefully they left the fountain working with everyone's fluids, which is kind of gross when you think about it, I guess. But I don't know. Hopefully they saved some of that stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of the diamonds, what are they gonna? Are they gonna be like? Gonna go back to Earth and be like, hey, human for all of this?
Yeah. See, what the thing is, the way they planned it, you know, they planned this to be, you know, the end of the series if they didn't get a 6th season. So, with the idea of them ending the show with the diamonds changing their stripes and decided to go back and make things right, okay, that's a good note. That's a good ending. Now that you're continuing the series, okay, what happens after that? You know, you just... Yeah, Dick, I think we talked about this in our last discussion. You know, evil dictators who magically decide to change things and make things right, will have probably a tough time because there'll be those
perfect example. Like Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah, go. Your perfect example.
My perfect example of like. Dictator suddenly changing ways, and all of his some of his followers are like, "What the fuck?" Is Megatron in the IDW comics? He became an Autobot at the end of a story arc, and Soundwave, his most loyal warrior, was like, "Are you shitting me right now?"
Are you shitting me, Megatron?
And he runs off with Galvatron, who's a totally different... Yeah, Galvatron and Megatron are two different people in this continuity.
That's fine. I'd rather that
happen. So yeah, he runs off with Galvatron to make a new Decepticon empire, and he's basically like, fuck you, Megatron, for a good amount of time until Cobra invades Cybertron.
Oh my god. I waited 3 million years by the phone for you, Megatron. You do this? Yeah. Well, geez, God, I'm thinking about like a real life example. Like the British Empire kind of owned everything for a good long while all over the world, and often took it by force, and often colonized and ruined cultures, and then slowly kind of started to pull things back. Like in the 20th century, like, oh, you know, like, okay, you know, hey, China, you can have Hong Kong back. Okay, country, you're fine. Okay. We're cool, right?
Sorry. Okay. The finger's justified. We'll go.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about all that slavery. You know, we were kind of really enthusiastic. That's kind of what we were doing. We're cool, huh?
Ooh, Africa. I am so sorry, Africa. Yeah. That would be Britain's response.
Yeah. And then Africa's like, okay, go. Like, okay, you don't sound cool. Are you cool? Like, go!
But yeah, so if we equate that to like the diamonds and them suddenly being like, because here's the thing, they kind of need to colonize worlds to survive as a species.
Correct. Yeah, that's a little more intricate. And also, comparing England to the diamonds are the same people that did those things. The British Empire, are people and humans. So, there's generations that come in and out and die and grow old and stuff like that. So, the same Brits that did things in, the 1920s are not obviously the same Brits, in present day and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of... It's a little easier to forgive or kind of make amends. But no, these are the same people that did these things. They're not. It doesn't seem like they're gonna go. It doesn't seem like any of them are gonna step down and have anybody else take over Homeworld. So, these same people who orchestrated these invasions and probably genocides maybe are coming back and going, "Hey, we're cool." So, I don't know how many people are going to be receptive to that. And you're right, that could be... depends if the stories want to go back into space. And this is what I've been kind of thinking. I've been thinking, since we've been in space so much lately, I think the story is going to focus on Earth and probably Jasper and the remaining gems, and if they break into factions, whatever the story is going to be. I think that's going to probably be Season 6 story, frankly. If they bring the diamonds back and the aliens and any kind of other possible villains, like people talked about maybe the creator of the gems being a villain, that will probably be saved for later seasons, like a Season 7 or Season 8.
Or final season.
Final season, well, look, if we keep successful and we get to go to Season 9, like Rebecca Sugar is thinking, that's when we're going to see the final boss. That's when the quintessons come into action.
Yeah. The other thing, with the, I think the diamonds are also going to try to have, when they go back to, to Homeworld, they're going to try to maybe be on better terms with the planets. And I think a lot of them are going to be either, no, you don't get to just be nice and, after you ravaged our homeworld and or drove us out of our planets, or there could be other planets who are no, we kind of need you. Don't leave.
That's going to be, I feel like it might be complicated that way. You're right. We kind of hated you, but, we're kind of dependent upon you now. Maybe they might kind of try to find, the right mix. I'm also, by the way, curious about their planet looks like shit. Homeworld looks like crap. Did it always look like crap? Did it always?
I don't think so.
Are we gonna get into that? Are we gonna maybe fix the planet because it's kind of broken, literally broken in half? So,
I think. If we do go back into space, I think a cool way to do it. I think the cool way if we go back into space in Season 6 is maybe Steven and the crystal gems, the diamond, have kind of worked out a custody thing. And I know it's a joke, but really it kind of makes sense because that's the gems are his family, but so are the diamonds.
Correct.
That's technically his two aunts and grandmother.
Yeah.
So I think what it would be if we did do space stuff in Season 6, it would probably be Steven, the diamonds picking him up and taking him to Homeworld and being well, here's what's been going on since, we've all been cool. It hasn't been cool here. Just FYI.
Oh, just move that stuff off the couch. We're kind of sleeping here. It's not great. So, that's one of the things, I keep thinking about. Because there's just so much, and I've heard people talk about. I briefly talked about the humans, but I mean specifically the government. How. I really do feel I know this isn't. I really don't think Sugar's interested in telling the story this way, but I'm really interested. even if you just give me an episode, how would the governments react, or at least specifically the U.S. government? Because like the bulk of the gems will be hanging out in the good old U.S.
Yeah, and the U.S. government's not.
Yeah, it'd be nice to find out whatever happened to Russia. Like, like when did that crater happen? Like, did that happen during the war? I am convinced that crater is where I forgot the name of that thing where we see it in Houseguest, that big scary sphere that they don't want to break, so they put like tape on it. The gems aren't the best at like being responsible, are they?
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's some tape. Okay. I just have this feeling like that thing is like, that's a bomb, right? It's a bomb or something. It's not good if that goes off, correct? I'm just feeling that, like. So I imagine.
Like, is that gonna put the Earth into a black hole? I mean, should we put like some do not cross tape? Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, the gems. Hey, you're gonna have to explain that at some point. You're gonna have to like. You're gonna have to get rid of that thing. I don't know what you're. I don't know. It's just like, I got it. I think amethyst is probably almost the ideal gem because, like, I'll do things later. Just put some tape on it and it's fine. It's like, that's a black hole bomb. Like, it's good. We're good. So yeah, we'll see about that. Let's see. We talked about gem factions, the alien stuff. Do you think we'll get into a villain? The villain. This has only been speculation. So, do you think we'll get into a creator of Gemkind?
I think it's possible. The question is, what do they look like, or is it one person?
Correct. Yeah. It would be nice if it was a race. Like, what did they create the gems for? Is this similar to like some classic sci-fi where like humanoids create technology and the technology takes over and maybe destroys that race? And maybe Gemkind just kind of forgot after the thousands of years, or
or White Diamond made everyone forget.
Yeah. Or I don't know, or possibly did they create them to be slaves themselves, and they rebelled and scared off the creators, and maybe had their own homeworld. Although I don't know, it's just there's so little, and I know they know. I know Rebecca Sugar knows what we're talking about right now, like what the origins are. I just don't know if they'll delve into it in the series. There's some. I feel like there's a couple of dark things that they're just not going to do, because it is an all ages show. Like for my favorite example is Amethyst totally tried to screw Greg in Rose's form, and that's why they don't talk. That's why they didn't talk for so long. That's not going to be really developed on screen.
Yeah.
They just gave us enough. It's like, look, that happened. They're better now, but they happened because you're an adult, and the kids don't know. So that's how we get by that.
It's one of to quote Peter Griffin, that happened and we all let it happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to talk about a little bit about we can talk about Lars and Sadie, but I want to kind of expand this and talk about relationships and characters. Like, where can we possibly go from here? I'm going to start with Lars and Sadie because that's probably the most important, probably the biggest one. What are your thoughts on about Lars and Sadie now that they've pretty much? I mean, they've really changed as people, especially during the course of season 5.
Yeah, well, the other thing, it's kind of like in Jasper with Lars, is that, he was out in space for months, being Captain Harlock / Star-Lord.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's the coolest guy ever, like, in space, and, like...
He's been from douchebag to, superhero.
True, yes. And... I don't know how you go back to that. See, this is... I didn't expect them to, like... kind of like end the show in the last episode the way they did. So I thought we'd get more Lars, here and there, and I don't know where we're gonna go. Like, I mean, how do you do all that and just go back to your life, and you have these superpowers that we haven't had a chance to really see?
And we're going, and this connection to Lion he has.
Yeah. I have heard Rebecca Sugar say that Lion's powers are shared by Lars. Lars has the same powers as Lion does. He has teleporting powers, portal powers, and sonic powers, as well as the dimensional hair power, which is the most specifically weird power I could think of.
Yeah.
So... I'm very curious to see how he'll bust those out.
The other thing is Sadie's kind of moved on in her own right, and is Lars going to go back to being him? I don't think he's going to go back to being typical Lars. It's going to be more like, at the longest time I thought about you, but most of the time when I was out in space, I was thinking about me. I don't know if that's selfish or am I a good person for moving past wanting just to be around you?
Yeah, and he's basically kind of, I don't want to say immortal, but his lifespan will be extended. So he'll outlive Sadie.
Yeah. The other thing is Sadie's kind of probably in the same predicament where she was like, my whole life was trying to get with you, but now I have this band and I'm doing tours and you went out in space and you didn't tell anybody. And he's like, at that party, he's like, I was shanghaied.
I am interested. My hope is that they do try to kind of like cement their relationship, but it's too late. They've already become different people. And I think that would be really interesting because that's kind of life. Sometimes you care deeply about a person, but you're not the same people anymore. Even if you want to make it work, it doesn't work, and that would be an amazing thing to put in a kid's show. That kind of lesson, that kind of realization. Because I don't know, I don't see that a lot in like older cartoons and stuff like that. But that's at least speculation on my part. Let's see, what do you think? Because it does almost feel like a lot of character arcs have been pretty much wrapped up, like Garnet and Pearl.
Like the other thing, real quick, going back, is what about the Off Colors? Where do they go now?
Oh yeah, good question. Well, they wanted to get to Earth, and will they like Earth? I've had this feeling that Lars will be bored and maybe go back into space with the Off Colors, and maybe not all the same off colors.
I think it would be kind of cool if like Jasper goes with him. Like she's like, I need to just work shit out and you need to work shit out. So I'm going to tag along whether you like it or not.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if like we get a mix, like maybe a couple of the off colors stay and a couple go with them and maybe are replaced by other gems. Maybe some of the gems that have been corrupted, or maybe the gems we've been watching all this time. Could it be Pearl?
Sadie tags along just Yeah, Sadie could also tag along. Like, maybe she's just like, maybe we can make this work in space.
It didn't work. Let me go through your hair. Back to Earth.
But yeah, that's the thing is like, the Off Colors, like my headcanon right now is that they're all just living at Lars's house now. They're all just living with him because they're like, you're our captain. You've told us what to do. So we don't have anywhere to go. It's kind of like that scene in The Simpsons with Abe where he's like, I'm cold and frightened. That's the Off Colors right now.
it's got to be, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where you get to see your hero in their regular daily life, and you go, "Oh, well, this is you? Okay." This is a lot less exciting than expected.
But to be fair, I think the off colors would probably be a little more like, they're like more, I think, because he's more or less bent over backwards for all of them. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, they'll be pretty grateful, and even if they're disappointed with their living situation, they'll be still grateful to him. That I don't think that'll be different. But I just like keep thinking about all like I'm really kind of excited that we're going to continue with the show, because there's something interesting about endings, and every once in a while, actually almost all the time, when I watch endings to film series or just a simple movie ending or a TV ending where everything ends on a great note for everybody, there's a day after that, and then a day after that. Like, what becomes of those characters and lives? Like, everything's not perfect after that.
Yeah. Why should there be an end?
Yeah, because life has no ending. No, I mean, it does have an ending. I guess I shouldn't put it that way. But
your life is ending, but the world keeps moving.
Correct. Thank you. Exactly. So yeah, I'm very curious. I don't know. I'm very curious to see Pearl after all this kind of stuff. Like, she's a more self-assured person. I see her frankly dating people and being less Pearl-like, a little bit more, casual than she has been, a little less uptight, I should say.
Yeah, and of course the one at the top of the list is Mystery Woman.
Yeah. Well, hell, there's that one great visual joke in the Single Pale Rose episode where you're in her head and you see a bunch of phone numbers all of a sudden. Like, she's been collecting phone numbers. And maybe not calling these women back.
Oh, God. Has she just been hitting, like, a bunch of gay bars and not understanding the callback?
Possibly. She's probably been pulling that thing where, like, well, I don't want to seem desperate. I'll call you back in, I don't know, what's a quick time? Like a few months? So, because to a gem, like, I don't know, a few months is like the next day or 2 days. But by the way, if we just see a moment where Steven looks for Pearl and she, like, says, "Hey, I'm going out, Steven, you hang out with Amethyst," and then runs out and hops on the bike with Mystery Girl, and they take off. And that's all we generally see of Mystery Girl, is, like, that occasional character that Pearl, like, takes off with. That might be fun. But I don't know. I mean, we might see it with other characters. I'm curious to see where Garnet goes from here. Like, the relationship that makes her Ruby and Sapphire is has a real strong bond. I wonder if maybe we'll go into, like, who Garnet is throughout that, because I've had this feeling that Steven views Garnet as her own person. Like, he understands the makeup of Garnet, but I don't know, he knew Garnet first as a person. And if you notice, he tends to kind of behave that way. Like, like when they were Ruby and Sapphire split, like, that was kind of like she was dead to him. And, he wanted them to be back together as a couple and love each other. But also, his mom is dead. And, this isn't just the Parent Trap. This is also the Parent Resurrection. So,
yeah.
I'd
actually, it'd be kind of fun to have Garnet hang out with Road Knight.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's a Ruby and Pearl together. So, and she said she was really interested in seeing that story. Maybe we could get get a bit more on Garnet, and at the same time get more on Rhodonite.
You know what? Now that we've just exploded the cast of gems, I'm very eager to see the different pairings. Like, okay, it's not Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl together all the time, and even like with Peridot and Lapis. I mean, we got like Bismuth, and we got Jasper back, and we got the off-color gems, and like a whole bunch of gems that
And
that
we've
just
got
showed up at the
Nephrite.
end. Nephrite and Biggs, and all these gems that we haven't really met yet. I'm very curious to see what kind of pairings they do. Like, especially if they do a time jump. I suppose we should probably let's get into that. Do you think they might do a time skip? I know that's been a topic of discussion. I know a lot of fans would like to see it. I don't know if they're going to do it. But I
don't like. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I would say if we're going to do a time skip, it would probably be like 6 months max.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I would be shocked if they did like a 5-year jump. I really do think they'll probably do a 6-month gap where Steven will be a 15. Where I don't know, they probably won't grow him up any further. But I think I think like a 6-month gap would be long enough to kind of like get everybody settled in slightly settled in their new situation, where we can pick up the story again.
Yeah, and we don't know how much of a time gap there is going to be with the movie and the next season.
Oh my god! You know what? When they first announced the movie, I thought it was going to be very similar to a lot of Dragon Ball Z movies, or even like other anime films based on current running TV shows, where the continuity isn't like 100% connected, and you can watch it independently, and you don't have to really worry. Now I don't know. Now it's like, is this gonna lead into season 6, or is this gonna be like Transformers the movie, which was like, it completely exploded the status quo, and then we picked up there in the next season. Will they do that with it? Will it still be separate, completely independent, or I don't see. The thing is, like, I don't know when these new episodes are coming back. Like, when is season 6 coming back? Like, will it premiere before the movie? So yeah, there's just so much vagueness that it could be anything at this moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's oh, sorry.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say that it's just way too early to call, and I don't know. It's like both frustrating and exciting.
Yeah, it is. And I have to promise myself, and I think all fans listening to this should probably promise themselves, don't get too mad if they don't do what we're speculating. I think that's very important as a fan. Don't marry your ideas if they don't do it.
It's their show, not yours.
Correct. Even if you think it's a bad idea what they're doing, you still have to respect it's their show.
Exactly. I mean, we could talk about like what we would do with the show, but we're not part of the writing staff, sadly.
I know. Damn it. But I don't know. I'd probably screw it up. You know what I would really you know what I really would love? I would love to take a stab at writing the Steven Universe comic. Sort of be a secondary continuity in that universe, provided I'd be allowed to kind of tell my own story. Like, it'd be fun, like, how we were talking about, like, maybe they probably won't involve the government too much. It'd be cool, like, find out, like, what they're not going to be doing. Like, okay, if you're not going to do this, maybe can I do it in the comic? So, you got that covered or something? From what I understand, I don't know. It feels like they don't tell the comic book editors and the writers very much, which, they have to keep. I understand they have to keep things close to their chest. Which is why, if you read the comics, like, they're so, like, they're the slice of life episodes done as the comic series. I think it'd be fun if, like, I could create my own story arcs, like, these action stories and, and such like that, mixed
or like cool little spotlights for each of the new gems that have been uncorrupted.
Correct. Yeah. That would be a lot of fun. It'd be cool to tell the Gem War story. If they're not going to do it, there is a fan comic called Fault Lines that kind of does that. It'd be cool if some of those subjects can be approached that way.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out. I'm not sure if there's any other direction. Is there anything? Is there a topic you want to kind of hit on that we haven't already?
I guess, like, I know we talked it a little earlier, but I want to go a little more in depth. Is like Steven's relationship moving onward with the Diamonds, because yeah, he's back. He's reconnected with his family, but there's still a way to go. Like, you don't just change from being a tyrant to a softie to just like that.
No, there's a process.
Yeah. I think, like, it would be kind of fun if Steven, like, again, going back to, like, the whole idea of Steven just spending, like, a small arc in space with the Diamonds just because, like, hey, we want to spend time with our nephew.
What do Earth people like to eat?
Yeah, just kind of spell with them, and each episode of this arc is like him spending time with each of the Diamonds. They're just kind of like, learning from Steven, like, oh, don't be a dick.
Oh, don't be. Oops. That might be, if they do, like, a season on Earth with some storyline, that might be a cool way to work in whatever's going on in space with the Diamonds. Is, like, season 7 could start that way, like, deceptively fun. Like, oh, let's go to Homeworld, see how cool things are going. Things are really working out. Hey, Steven, it's great. We're doing all this neat stuff here. This planet's trying to kill us.
Hey, so sit down for a moment, Steven. We got to talk.
Yeah. We have this really bad rebellion here. Of people who liked being evil.
It's
anyway,
led by Aquamarine, that bitch.
Yes. Here's cupcakes. We figured out how to make them. So yeah, that might, knowing the show, that'll be the way they work it. That's the way they'll do it. Because I gotta remember, it's like, this is Steven Universe, not Avengers. They'll do something, because the joke on this show is like, the plot synopsis was Steven go gets ice cream, and then the plot is genocide. So, that's the way this show kind of lures you in. Like, oh, this is cute and funny and dumb. Like, oh, that's really devastating. So,
yeah. The other thing is like again with the Diamonds is like they probably still have a lot of skeletons they don't want to tell Steven.
Oh my
God,
they would have
yeah,
to,
we were
right?
responsible. Yeah, like one thing I always wanted to have is like him and Yellow Diamond just spending time alone, like whether it be like they're stranded on a together and Yellow's just kind of like, I need, she's just trying to come to grips with him, like, eat me. Why won't you just like, because I know I treated Pink like shit the most, so why can't you just hate me and it'll probably make me feel better? Instead of like, because the being nice is like in her, like I think in Yellow's mind it would be like she's being nice because he's not Pink and he's trying to be polite. So why can't you just get it out there, scream in my face, please, because I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And there are like people like that who just need, like, they think if everyone who's nice to them is just like, it's just a false face, and they just need to be screamed at sometimes just to feel like vindicated.
Mm-hmm. And Yellow Diamond would definitely be that type.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just, the more you talk about it, the more you go down this rabbit hole, the more you realize, like, man, they could probably do like 4 or 5 more seasons and not run out of steam. So I'm very curious. I'm hoping season 6. My hope is they don't do the pacing like they did for the previous first couple of seasons on the show. My hope is the pace would be more in tune with season 5.
Yeah, because like it's really hard from now to have a like slice of life episode now. It's really kind of hard to do that after all the shit that just went down.
Yeah. They can have some, but they can't. I don't know. Look, I'll stay and watch, but I don't know how many people would stay and watch if they do a slow build again. And also, you got to take into account, like, this is the first TV show a lot of these people created and worked on. So it's like, okay, how much time do we have to build this stuff up? Like, how much should we pace this? Because when people criticize the show for its pace, I mean, I'm cool with it. I see its problems, and it's a legit issue you want to bring up. But I feel like now would not be the time to like slow that pace down again. It would be great if they, were able to keep it up after season 5 and into season 6. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that I think it's now the crew has just been kind of like, well, now we know what the people want. Now we know what we want to do.
I know. Well, here's the thing. I've been thinking about this since I finished up season 5. Is it doesn't matter at this point what happens in the show. Like, let's say the next couple of seasons come out and they're somewhat disappointing. They go into like jump the shark territory, and the show maybe stays on for a few seasons but isn't the same show as it once was. I don't think that matters, because they got to tell the story they wanted. They wanted to tell the story from season 1 to season 5, and it's a really innovative story for all ages TV and animation. They got to do a lot of things I hadn't seen before as a huge Lifetime cartoon fan. So they won. Whatever people will talk about in the future about Steven Universe, they'll talk about those first 5 seasons no matter what. Even if the next 1 to 4 are disappointing. That will be their legacy. And they did it. They succeeded. They won. And I think that's something to be proud of, and as like a creator of the show and as a fan of the show. And something to brag about, something to feel good about. So to be honest, like, this is going to be like, I don't know, the next couple of seasons, I suppose. I'm looking forward to checking out and see where we go. Anyway, I think let's see. Do you have any final thoughts?
Other than I can't wait, but hopefully, in between we've got, stuff to tide us over, like the final season of, oh god, it's the final season of Starverse: The Force of Evil.
Yeah.
I immediately bummed myself out just saying that.
But I have not talked about that show on this channel. I really love that show. I don't know. Do you want to do a video about it? Maybe after the season's done.
Stevolution, yes.
Let's do that. Let's wait until the season 4 is done. Maybe we'll talk about the show.
Yeah, but we've also got, DuckTales Season 2. We've got The Owl House from Alex Hirsch's girlfriend, which is supposed to be like Evil Dead, the animated series, according to Disney.
Awesome. Sold. That sounds great. I haven't heard it pitched that way, but that's fantastic.
We got a lot and keep us going, essentially. And good majority of it's coming from Disney.
Correct. Yeah, Disney has some really strong shows currently incoming. I'm very excited about Infinity Train on Cartoon Network. I'm very interested.
Oh, yeah. I am so ready for that.
Me too. I feel like it's an ongoing series. I haven't heard too much specific information. I'm hoping it can be kind of like a sci-fi equivalent to Over the Garden Wall. That would be cool.
Yeah. I saw the pilot and I was like, oh my god, this needs to be a thing. And it still blows my mind that Cartoon Network's still doing it, because it's still the network that's showing Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, and kid version of reality cartoon, whatever that show is. You know what? Hey, I've kind of made peace with those shows. I don't like those shows still. But if they pay the rent for Cartoon Network and let them do shows like Steven Universe and Infinity Train, okay, I can live with that. Like, do your crap, make your money, as long as you spend it well and use it on, more thoughtful stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, hold on. I think they even realize that Infinity Train is like the next golden egg for them, because I feel like they're starting to get it.
Yeah. Well, Cartoon Network has always been a little bit more experimental than Disney, and especially Nickelodeon, where they take just more chances. I mean, starting with Dexter and like Powerpuff Girls, and especially Samurai Jack, the Star Wars shorts, Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Over the Garden Wall. I mean, they've over and over really kind of taken some chances and stretched the medium a little bit. And they're more successful than not. So, all the power to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's essentially why I watch Cartoon Network more than Nickelodeon. It takes zero chances.
No, I have a more immediate reason to watch Nickelodeon, because apparently they're getting a Star Trek animated show on there.
I just heard about that, and what do you know about that? I don't want to go too far off the subject, but I haven't heard anything about that besides it happening.
All I know is that it's happening. They haven't set a timeline or if it's going to be Enterprise-centric or not. All I know is it's happening.
Well, what's cool is, hey, it's Enterprise. I mean, hey, it's animation, so they could do Enterprise. They could do the original crew, all they want. So, or hell, we could do, we could do Next Generation crew. We could go back to the present, because I'll be honest, like, as someone who used to like always watch Star Trek, I would be interested in going back to the present. It's weird to say it because it's the future, but the present day timeline, where we get to like, what happens after Voyager? Where do we go from here?
Yeah. I would like to have like a DS9 show.
That'd be true. I mean, it's definitely a place you could continue doing new material with.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the only, like, Nickelodeon, that's their only, like, ballpark, right? Well, that and Loud House, but that's another topic.
Yes. Oh, I know. Loud House is like, geez, like, the one successful non-SpongeBob thing they've done lately. Outside of Turtles. I mean, the what was it, 2012 Turtles show? And
the 2012 show.
Yeah. And the current one, which, I don't know. I haven't made a decision on that show yet. What do you think about the new Turtle show?
I mean, like, some of the jokes hit, but it just feels a little too much go for me.
I've heard a couple of reviews, and a lot of, like, the more popular reviews, I think, you know, are mixed. Like, there's some really awesome stuff in this show and stuff that doesn't work. Like, the characters are too similar, for instance, and I would agree with that assessment. But the action, holy crap, is beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Like, it really does look like Kill la Kill. And I love that kind of, like, action stuff. I like the new April. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it might develop. Again, if this was Cartoon Network, I would completely be convinced they were going to, like, develop it. But it's not, so I don't know what they'll do. No clue. All right. Hey, I think we're kind of done because we're talking about Ninja Turtles. So we're going to be doing this show, provided Deadpoolzilla's cool with it. I'd like to do Stevolution at least once a month. So
I'm totally down for that.
Cool. All right. Then we'll be back in March talking about something. We can talk about... We can talk about a subject you'd like to talk about, Deadpoolzilla, or, hey, if you're watching this and you have a subject you'd like us to kind of jump on, leave it in the comments below, and, we'll take a look at it. Maybe that'll be our next subject. We'll probably be talking about the movie very soon in the future. We're probably won't get Yeah?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to throw out... I did have an idea of us doing a top 10 list of our top 10 favorite fusions.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. We could do a top 10 episode of either fusions or, another subject. We could also do... I was thinking about in the future, like, maybe doing a commentary episode where you and I will watch, like, a particular episode. And do a commentary.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, not a reaction, but a commentary. Well, we've seen all these episodes, so it would be a lie if we called it a reaction. But, yeah, we could do those. So yeah, we're gonna be waiting until the movie. I assume probably, my assumption is San Diego Comic-Con will probably give us a trailer.
Same.
Yeah, so it's gonna be we're a few months away from seeing any, like, solid stuff for that. But I'm waiting. I'll wait. So all right. Hey, Deadpoolzilla, tell the folks where they can find you on YouTube.
You beautiful people out there on the internet can find me on my channel, Deadpoolzilla, but more importantly, go subscribe to Comic Youniverse, which just recently reached 1,000 subscribers.
Wow, damn. Congratulations. That was quick.
Yeah, I'm still, like, boggled as well. It bamboozled me of how fast we got to 1,000. But yeah, you guys can subscribe there to Comic Youniverse. We are a growing channel over on that with my friends Craig and Jay. Good nerd content all around.
Yay. And let's see. You can, of course, catch me here at this channel. You can like and subscribe to this channel if you've never seen it before. I do talk about all things, maybe not all things Steven Universe. I talk about Steven Universe. And you can click the notification bell if you want specific updates on us. You can hit me on the usual social media things. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and I have a comic book I'm re-releasing and relaunching this year, Red Knight. There's a Facebook for that if you like superhero comic books. I make one, so I hope you like it. And you can, of course, support this channel on Patreon. And just start out at $1 and get rewards and stuff like that. All right, so I think that's it. Thank you very much, as always. Deadpoolzilla, you've been great. And we'll talk to you again next month about something concerning Steven Universe. Bye, folks.